everyone. This is Dr. Live with New Insight, and thank you for joining me in another video. The title of today's video is Understanding Healthy Grieving. Death is a part of life, even though it's something many don't want to think about or talk about. There are different types of grief and loss, not just grief and loss associated with death. And even with death, grief and loss can be triggered by the loss of a person or a pet. Grief and loss can also be triggered by other difficult and or traumatic life circumstances, including abandonment, separation, divorce, dealing with the incarceration of a loved one, retirement, loss of a job, loss of one's home through a natural disaster or even through eviction or foreclosure, and dealing with a disability and terminal illness. Grief and loss causes a gamut of emotions, including denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, which are known as the 5 stages of grief. And there is no certain order to the emotions one might feel. It is also important to understand that grief is a process. There is no set time for how long you should grieve. There is, however, a healthy and unhealthy process of grieving. Grief and loss can cause confusion, shock, and disbelief, even numbness. You feel like you don't want to go on. You don't want to live life without your loved one or live life without the autonomy, freedom, and independence you once had or the lifestyle you once had. Sometimes you feel guilt and shame because you're not grieving the way others expect you to. But understand that everyone has a different reaction to grief and loss. Now I will discuss 7 keys to healthy grieving. Number 1, think about what your loved one would want for you, what they would say to you about the loss. As it relates to grief and loss due to death, for example, I often think about what my dad would want for me, what advice he would give me, and also what he would do in certain situations where I felt confused or weak, where I haven't had the confidence I needed, and situations where I felt indecisive about certain matters. And doing so has given me and continues to give me the focus, strength, confidence, and perseverance I need to keep moving forward. Number 2, self-care. Make sure you're eating, sleeping, taking care of your hygiene, and all of your basic needs. It's so easy to neglect these things when you've suffered a major loss. And even if you don't attend to them at the same level as you did before the loss, just do the best you can. Be sure to take your medications as prescribed, your vitamins and supplements, and your basic physiological needs. By neglecting this, emotional issues can and will manifest into physical issues. So don't wait to feel like it. Just do it, doing the best you can on your own or asking for help. Number 3, process the loss appropriately. This is so important. This relates to how you think, process, and perceive the loss. It is imperative to reprocess and change any thoughts that cause you to feel guilt, shame, blame, or thoughts that cause you to feel like you can't go on, life is not worth living, you're inadequate, and you're a burden. Please pop the balloon on these thoughts by challenging and changing them. This is key for positive coping. Number 4, rely on family, friends, and loved ones for support. Don't let negative thinking and negative feelings cause you to isolate, withdraw, and push people away. It's okay to need time alone sometimes, but don't allow this to get to a point where you're disconnected from those who love you and you're destroying relationships by isolating yourself. Number 5, please understand that it is not just time that heals. More importantly, it's what you do with the time that matters in helping you heal. It's about what you're doing to cope, to heal, and to reinvest in your life. Number 6, determine what forward movement will look like. Think about living despite the loss, living despite the hurt and pain, and living a life of quality, meaning, and purpose despite the impact of the loss. And no, it won't be easy, but it is necessary for coping, surviving, and thriving. And number 7, learn positive coping mechanisms. There are many things that can help you feel better or feel good, but that doesn't mean those things are good for you or that it's the healthy or best way to cope. If you need professional guidance and support, spiritual guidance and support, whatever the case may be, please seek help. Don't be afraid and don't feel like you have to suffer alone, because you don't. Healthy grieving involves allowing yourself to feel, accepting the emotions, but not getting stuck in the emotions. It is natural and normal to feel, even though the feelings are difficult. But you must learn to accept what you cannot change, which is a very essential coping skill. It is understandable that initially after the loss, you might be stuck and feel disconnected. There's a lot to process, including how to continue moving forward and living with the loss. And for many, this will involve completely figuring out their new identity and what a new normal would look like. And it is okay to experience different emotions as you face grief and loss, because you will feel stronger some days than others. Understand that you'll always have thoughts and feelings about the loss. However, depending on time and, of course, what you do with the time, for example, the way you process the loss, the coping skills you use to deal with the loss, and your supports, over time, the difficult thoughts and feelings won't occur as frequently or intensely as they did when you first suffered the loss. However, if you feel stuck and you're having persistent thoughts and feelings of anxiety and depression that is causing disruption in your life, this may be a sign that you need professional intervention. So please take care of yourself. Coping with grief and loss is a process. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.